Peace, this is Jarrell with Quantum Light Consciousness. Today we're going to talk about activating your etheric temple. Okay, now, there's a couple things that go into the ascension process and being with your vessel as your vessel is changing on the daily, and how it's, activating a new energy that's hitting the planet, and the new energy coursing through your actual cellular structure, and as you integrate that, how you start to change on a molecular level, and how you relate to yourself as a physical body while simultaneously inhabiting an energy body as your higher self. I wanted to get into how you can actually be in that energetic state of unconditional love and continue to grow and expand your own energy field from that core state as a existential place of default to exist at. So let's get started. This particular download came when I was coming out of a sleep state early in the morning. I basically saw, what I basically saw was myself inside of a pyramid, right? It's all holographic. I saw myself inside of a pyramid, then I saw the top of the pyramid kind of just chilling, just hovering above the rest of the pyramid. So I was inside of the pyramid, and then, I had a little mini pyramid on the top of the pyramid that I was in. So I didn't really know what this was, and I kind of had to connect the dots of what it actually was. Okay, so what it actually is your inner self template of your etheric space that you exist in, and that you mobily walk around in as a temple. The body is a temple. You call your body, you got to treat it like it's a temple, it's a saying. And then you go back to ancient Egypt, you look at the temples, they're actually producing the same golden mean ratio structure as the same structure of the biological body of the person. So the saying your body's a temple is actually literal. Okay, and there's a way to etherically get there as you continue to grow and develop in your ascension process. Your etheric temple is really you within your own space of total, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient protection, and just sacred space, just overall. If you ever seen the ancient Vedics, or any type of ascended master, or any type of illustration of a god being or an ascended being, and they have a hat on, and the hat that they're wearing is actually, it looks like a crown, and the crown actually looks like a temple. It looks like a temple, or it looks like a city, and the crown is always really large and cone shaped. That's literally that's a representation of literally where they are at within themselves. It's actually a temple that is representing their crown chakra. That's representing their upper chakras, where they exist in the upper, higher octaves of dimensions, because your chakras actually represent the higher dimensional octaves of where you exist at, not just in 3D. So to bring it full circle, you kind of have to understand yourself as a temple, and you have to integrate this structure within yourself as unconditional love to ascend. Okay, not just go Jesus take the wheel, literally ground the ascension process into your actual physical body while you're still living a life here on earth, doing whatever you gotta do every day. But this makes it a lot more seamless, streamlined, and processed into who you are as a person. If you know yourself as a personality, right? And if you know what a personality is, it's just your own energy, right? And you integrate self-love into your own personal energy, you're just going to become more of yourself, Okay, so if you're into ascension, you're into becoming more of yourself, because all what you are is just self-love. You're just love. All right, that's, the source of all creation is just unconditional love. So when you bring this unconditional love in, here's what it looks like. All right, these are my tired notes for this entire video. I know it's very comprehensive here. Okay, so you got you at the center, and then you also residing here, but this is actually your higher self. All right, you could make it for whoever your highest version of self is, depending on who you are. I prefer the highest of the high. It could be your highest cosmic evolved version, or it could be Archangel Metatron, or it could be even higher than that. So really, take your time in meditation, decide, who you want to represent on your soul stream to be the higher representative aspect of who you are on the inside on your own etheric temple, and then bring them in and feel that love. Okay, so when you bring this energy in and you start feeling this love, what it's going to do is it's going to override all types of negative influences that are currently running or have hooked onto your vessel. All right, so the big kicker here is that if you didn't know yet, the planet Earth is basically what you would call underwater. It's kind of like dimensionally upside down. You ever seen Stranger Things? They're like, oh no, the upside down, it's coming, it's gonna take us. Like, that's literally where the planet Earth is, energetically at least, in the fourth dimension for the most part. Like, basically, if you're in the fourth dimension, you call that the lower astral, where most people reside at, unfortunately. And then, it's possible for higher dimensional beings to exist there, as guides and as your higher self. They guide you through the garbage that is hooking onto your vessel, but, it's your choice to align with your higher energy, with your higher self, with your unconditional love. Okay? When you begin to integrate this self-love, this etheric temple above your head, in this sacred pyramid of protection, all right, it might become imminent that you have hooks hooking in, or hook in anywhere, hook in from your sides, from behind you, from front of you, from above you, or from below you. Like, you have to understand that you're a fractal representation of creator, of prime creator, of the tree of life. All right, if the tree of life was a person, just picture a god being as a original fractal tree of what has been the original basis of all creation to ever have taken place for all eternity. That's what you call prime creator. You are a representation of that. So when you begin to step into that and really control the entire parameters of that from the inside, it becomes apparent that there are outside forces that kind of want to siphon that energy and take that energy for yourself. You'll see, just different types of parasites or whatever, just trying to harvest energy for itself. And all you have to do is just stay in your center. You stay basically locked. You stay locked within yourself, right? And that's basically it. It's very simple. This is what I learned when I did this. What I did was I invited my higher self in, and it's kind of like you have to learn how to do divination. All right, doing divination with your higher self, you basically there's different ways to do it. This is the way I do it. I put my palms up, and as you put your palms up, you're basically inviting your higher self to be with you, above you, and in front of you. And that's the same thing that you're doing here, right? So basically, when you do this, you're inviting your higher self to step in to your inner space and basically help you enhance your energy as an extension of who you are. So that's simple. It's an easy process. It helps a lot. Another similar video that I did on this was supercharging your vibration. So check out that video. In that I discussed the same type of concepts. This is the exact same concept, except this is a lot more effective. So you can do the same thing with your house as well. You could put an etheric temple above your house, and then like around your property line or wherever you live at, you can actually put a golden mean rectangle, which is a very, very powerful shape. The golden mean rectangle is basically your glass lens of perception, your lens of what you are perceiving through the third eye. It's literally the center of the circle of creation. Like when creation begins forming out of the void, when life is breathed into nothingness, you basically have your circles, your seed of life, and then you have, your sphere, and out of that is another sphere, and around that seed of life, you have golden mean rectangle. All right, so you basically have the masculine and the feminine at the same point of creation. So if you identify as yourself as creator, as an aspect of this God-given consciousness, you're able to create through that, including the energetic space and awareness and forms of frequency that is allowed into your house or your actual temple. Okay, so the most important part of this is actually the frequency, though. The frequency aspect of it is really what I had to actually understand for myself, is why I hadn't implemented this earlier. Because when you implement your highest frequency possible, I talk about the violet flame, I talk about golden flame, I talk about the violet ray, I talk about a lot of different types of frequencies. But once you understand the frequency of ascension, you're just going to want to continue raising your frequency and raising it and raising it and raising it, because until you actually realize and become a higher frequency of ascension, you just kind of dabble in healing, you dabble in ascension, you dabble in spiritual awakening. Okay, because when you are multifaceted enough to be able to realize yourself as all of the different spectrums as one, you just want to implement every type of different frequency, every type of different energy, every type of different context of vibration into different creations of who you are. And how can you develop that in a safe way and in a dynamic way? So the ray of ascension, all right, is basically white light, Roy G. Biv. All right, you have all spectrums. So you have a flame, and it's basically multicolored, it's literally all spectrums. So that's your high. That's basically what you want your inner temple to be at. If you were to look at your etheric temple, what it will look like? It's a temple, it'll look like a temple. All right, you have to use your imagination, all right, because your imagination is actually your imagination is everything. All right, so look at your temple, okay, and at that temple, you have to vividly feel what type of structure your higher self would exist inside. Okay, and then enhance that by 10. All right. So the way I see it is basically it's like a white temple, but it's vividly glowing like Roy G. Biv spectrum upwards. All right, white light. It's white light, but it's glowing all types of colors, basically every color you can imagine up, and then you start to become that. You can literally light your body up in a flame as that specific energy. And that's it. But once you get there, it's like, that's it. Like, I can't, like, like, I can see why there's a lot of suffering in the world, because they are not consistently and continually, like, working on themselves enough to realize that, like, they have access to this type of energy within themselves, and they're, like, they can't understand that they don't have to go outside themselves to feel their own inner completion. Like, because that's all we want at the end of the day. We want to feel complete, we want to feel whole, and we want to feel loved. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to go outside yourself to get there. Like, you can create your own temple space within, and you can still, you know, be functional within the world. Like, you can actually be a conversant, mobile, rational, and understanding person, you know, totally balanced, totally coherent, and be totally aware of the inner realms, the astral realms, etheric beings, your higher self, your spirit guides, and everything could be totally fine. Like, you know, and a lot of it just comes from the programming of, like, westernization of, like, not being grounded if you understand how to astral project, or if you understand how to communicate with, you know, a multidimensional being, or you believe ETs exist, or you believe government, like, conspiracy stuff. Like, I don't even have to tell you. Like, I will literally put up the footage of government helicopters just crisscrossing in the sky, just constantly. Like, what the hell are they looking at? Like, what the hell are they looking for? I never seen a helicopter crisscross across the sky. Like, you know, you see a helicopter, you usually go in one direction. But, you know, that's a totally different subject. So, like, you don't have to, like be, like, someone who's going to say that they are not whole within themselves because they understand themselves on a totally different level. Because if you are within yourself, then, you know, it's no question. Like, what people say about themselves is really what they're saying about themselves, because they may be talking about someone else and they're actually talking about themselves. Like, it literally comes out that way. Like, when you see the world, it's kind of just like you're living in Sim City, and the Sims, like, you know, they talk on their PC screens. Like, you know, they're not saying words, but they're saying words to them. Like, in their own reality, they're saying words, but it's kind of coming out backwards to you. But, like, that's the way it is. So, yeah, just do this, and, you know, you're going to see results. You're going to get into that inner space at 0 point, and you're going to be able to handle the irrational, you know, dysfunctional confusion, you know, just, like, manipulative, like, guilting frequency that unconsciously is just banking off people just all across, you know, like all across, unfortunately, the collective, you know, because their vessels are totally unconscious. Not, you know, any offense to anybody, but that's just the way it is. So, peace and love to you. One love. Thank you for watching this video and making it to the end. If you guys would like a session, I do sessions at quantumlight.net. I do healing. I do intuitive coaching. Do numerology readings. Also have a course out. So check that out. And talk to you soon. Peace.